Hello students, hope you all are fine and safe at your home. As you know, I am your science teacher. Today we will continue with the chapter number 3, reproduction in animals. So, children, you know what is reproduction? Reproduction is a process through which life can continue on the earth. If animals will not reproduce, finally their life, or we can say their species, will end up. So to continue their generations, reproduction is very, very important. Okay, so let us see what is the definition of reproduction. The reproduction is a process by which living beings resembling their parents are produced. So all animals produce young ones or lay eggs. From eggs also young ones are produced. These young ones actually, when they will grow up, when they will become mature or when they will become adult, they will resemble their parents. So this process is known as reproduction. This reproduction is not only done by animals, even plants reproduce. We will be learning about reproduction in plants in our next class. So here, reproduction means producing young ones of their own kind to continue life on the earth, to continue their generations. Okay? So this process of reproduction, it is actually divided into two parts. Animals reproduce either by giving birth to the young ones, directly young ones come out from the mother's body, or we can say by laying eggs. Either mothers lay eggs, and from these eggs, after getting the proper warmness, okay, young ones are hatched out. Fine, we will be learning about both of these in detail. So here, first we will proceed with by giving birth to the young ones. So the animals which directly give birth to the young ones, they are known as mammals. Okay, so what are they known as? This is very, very important. Animals which directly give birth to the young ones, they are known as mammals. And these mammals are the most developed group of animals. They are the most developed from, if we compare all various kind of animals, mammals are the most developed category of animals. What are the special features of these mammals? They have hair on their body. Okay, like we human beings also have hair on their body because we are also mammals. Like humans, we have number of animals like dog, cat, rat, lion, cow, buffalo, deer, zebra, giraffe, kangaroo. Number of animals if you count. These all animals are mammals, and they all have hair on their body. Secondly, they possess external ears. What is external ears? This you can see. The outer part of the ear. This is known as external ear. Okay. So all mammals have external ear. Secondly, the young one is or are. Some animals produce a single young one. Some animals produce 2 to 3 young ones or more. Okay. So young ones form inside the mother's body. Fine. So these young ones are formed inside the mother's body, and when they are fully grown up or fully developed, we can say, after that only they come out from mother's body. Okay. So these are different categories, or we can say different points of mammals. So now we come to care of young ones. How these mammals take care of young ones. First point, mother feeds babies. They feed, okay, so they feed babies with milk. Clean them, keep them warm, and protect them from enemies. Okay, from enemies, obviously parents protect them. So they clean them, keep them warm. When they get proper warmness, then only their body grows well. Okay, and protect them from enemy. They build houses to protect babies. For the protection of the babies, they make house and they safely keep their young ones and babies inside them. They teach them to find food and live life safely. They give them training how to survive when they will be separated from the parent, how they have to survive their life, how they will find their food and live life safely and protect them from enemies. Okay, so this is the care of young ones. You must know that only mammals are the animal, those who are taking care of young ones for a long period of time. Otherwise, when we will talk about egg-laying animals, we will be discussing that how they take care of the young ones. Okay. So there are some facts about the mammals. Let us discuss them. Duck-billed platypus. These are the exceptions. Duck-billed platypus, spiny ant-eater. They are egg-laying mammals. As we have discussed that mammals directly give birth to the young one, but these two animals are exception because they lay eggs, but still they are categorized under mammals because they possess hair on their body. Okay. Secondly, they have external ears also. So they are mammals. Next is whales and dolphins. Whales and dolphins, they have streamlined body like fish. They resemble fish, but they are not categorized under Pisces category of fish, but they are mammals because they give birth to the young ones. Secondly, they don't have gills, they have lungs to breathe. Okay. The third fact is bat. Chamkadar. Bat is known as flying mammal. Okay, this is the only mammal which can fly, so it is known as flying mammal. And after that, we have shrew. Shrew is the smallest mammal. It is a mole-like animal. We can say that a kind of mouse-like animal. It is having a long nose. So it is shrew. It is the smallest mammal, and it is known as mole-like mammal. So children, let's continue. So we have discussed till animals which directly give birth to the young ones, they are mammals. Now we come to the next topic, that is egg-laying animals. Okay, so second category of animals. Several animals reproduce by laying eggs. You know that only main higher category animals, they only lay directly give birth to the young ones, whereas rest of all animals and even insects, birds, fishes, they all lay eggs. So there are several animals that reproduce through by laying eggs. So these eggs, they only grow, or the young one which is inside the egg, they only become mature when they get proper warmness. Okay. So they hatch out, that is they come out from the egg. That process is known as hatching. So they hatch out from the egg when they get proper warmness and when they are fully mature, when they are fully grown up. Okay. So when they are fully mature, the young one hatches out. Okay. So they all are egg-laying animals. We have discussed fish, all birds, and a number of reptiles, amphibians like crocodile, turtle, snake, lizard. Amphibians are frog, okay, toad, newts, salamanders, and number of birds. All these animals lay eggs. Okay, so these are examples of the animals that lay eggs. Let us begin with the next topic, that is structure of an egg. If we talk about a single egg, whether it is a hen egg or whether it is a fish egg, whatever it is, inside egg, okay, based on the size it varies. Otherwise, egg from inside, if we compare, the egg has various parts. Okay, so they are, in the center we have yolk. Inside this yolk we have embryo. The outer cover, it is known as egg shell. This is the white jelly-like albumin, and this is the egg membrane. Okay, there is a coil, and over here we have an air sac. Let us discuss about all these different parts of egg in detail. Thin outer covering. The outer covering of the egg, it is known as egg shell. Okay, yolk is the yellow part of the egg. When we crack the egg, inside we see the yellow part. This yellow part is known as yolk, and this yolk is rich in fats, vitamins and minerals. which is going to form the young one. Okay, so this embryo also develops inside the yolk, and this yolk provides food to the embryo. Okay, so this yolk is only the thing on which the embryo depends, and it becomes mature and converts into the young one. Secondly, we have albumin. Albumin is a white jelly-like structure, slippery, very slippery, outside the yolk, and it is rich in protein. So albumin is occupied in this whole area. Okay, so this also protects the embryo from the germs. So when we move the egg, because of this albumin, the egg or embryo will not be disturbed and it will not be caused any damage. Fine, it is rich in protein. This albumin is rich in protein. It protects the yolk and embryo. Secondly, the air sac. I told you this coil area, it is actually occupied with the air, and this air sac and outer, there are number of pores in the egg and what we call egg shell. These pores, from these pores, air keeps on entering in the air sac, and this air sac reach the yolk and to the embryo, and this is the thing, this is the place from where the we can say that young one or the embryo breathe. I hope you have understood the structure of an egg properly. That's all for today. Thank you.